So these are the very basics actually. Work process administration on the basics, which means so if the users are unable to log into this type of issues, we may face it in the real time. Users are unable to log into the SAP systems, right? So some kind of old update records found in the systems. So this kind of issues we may face it here. So in that case, we need to know what are the transaction codes we have to use it to check the basic things at least basic things here, right? So here, as part of the work process administration, so we discussed about the D for dialogue work process, right? V for update, E for NQ. So these three we discussed. Today, D for background work process here. So this is the one of the important thing here. As of now, installation we discussed. As I told, that is not much very important. If you know the basics of the installation, log files, users, softwares, that's well enough for the technical discussions. So then the next one is the next point is very important is the background work process, right? Even dialogue updates also no one asks, but as a day-to-day work, we need to know about the dialogue updates NQ also here, right? So let's start with the background work process. Let's start with the background work process here, right? So background work process. So what exactly this background work process? How this will help to the business, right? Suppose background work process are responsible to run the jobs. So background work process are responsible to run the jobs in the systems, to run the background jobs. What is mean by background job here? What is mean by job here? First of all, we should like to know the job. Job means some set of instructions, set of tasks will be performed by the system. It's not by you. Set of instructions, set of tasks will be performed by the system or service, not by you. Means without any manual intervention, you have to come. So system will take care of the job executions, right? Suppose example, I will tell you the importance of the job here. So every month-end payrolls, month-end salaries we are getting, right? So automatically, the lakhs of employees are there. Everybody will get the same day, maybe 1 or 2 minutes delay, or maybe it depends upon the bank. Everybody will get the salaries, right? Everybody will get the salaries. Is it any one person is sending the salaries, Google Pay, GPay account transfer to us? Is anyone is doing? No, right? It's a system jobs. System jobs. Jobs are month-end jobs. It will send the month-end, and the month-end it will send the payrolls to the us, right? Our accounts. We are getting the accounts. So the job will run. It will complete their work. The same time. So at the same time, we have a number of examples we can tell. So automatically we have bulk messages, bulk voice calls. So we are getting means system generated. System jobs are running, it's completing, which means it's a reducing the manual efforts. Means our human tasks, right? Suppose in SAP system, coming to the SAP system also, normally if you want to execute any program or execute any program or report, what we have to do? Manually, we have to go SA38 or SE38. Why we have only programs and commands means, so programs contain set of instructions, where to go, what is the condition should be applied. So that is the set of instructions, set of lines are available. So instead of you manually executing the programs and reports, if you create the one that job will do their work. You don't need to manually go to SA38 or SE38, some of the events or commands, you don't need to go. Directly you can go to the SA38 or SE38, you can execute the jobs. You can execute the jobs here. That's possible here, right? So in SAP, to run the job, you need the at least one free background work process there. So one job, one work process. Two jobs, two work process, right? So at least one free work process there to run the jobs in the system. To run the jobs in the system, at least one free work process should be there here, right? So that is what the background job concept here. So here, instead of manually executing the SA38 or SE38 and going execute the program and getting the output, if you schedule the one job and include this report or program, job will take care of the automatic execution of the reports and programs, right? So in that case, what we have to do? In SAP, we have SM36 is the transaction code. To create the jobs, we have to use the SM36 here, right? Here, while creating the job, few things you have to consider, few things you need to remember. What are those few things here, right? So here, let me go to the SM36 here. If we go to the SM36, go to the SAP login pad, right? So maybe take the any one of the account. So maybe you can just you can take any one of the ECD or ECP, right? So just to log into the any one of the account here. You want to get the real experience, just log into the ECC systems here. You will get the real node, all those things here. Here, go to SM36 is the transaction code. Here, you can schedule the job. Job name, you can give it here, right? Job name, suppose like monthly payment. Okay, job name you have given, right? So if you go to the job steps, job step here, right? Job name, you have to define it, whatever it may be, depends upon the one good naming convention, right? Next one is the, here you need to remember is the job steps here, right? Job startup conditions here, job startup conditions here, job status here. These 3 points you should remember. These 3 points they may ask you during the interview point of how many types of job steps you have, right? So we have the 3 types of job steps we have here. One is the above program. Step means job will execute whatever you define here, whatever you give here. Yeah, so whatever you mentioned here, job will execute that step, right? Either above program, external program, or external commands here. There are the 3 types of job steps are there in the job here. If you go to the job step, so we have the 3 types here: above program, external commands, external programs here. There are 3 types here. So you can run, you can give anything here. You can give anything here. Suppose you want to give the one program. So maybe programs means it starts with the, normally in the real time, you will get the requirement from the, your functional teams or development teams, what program you have to execute it, right? Here you will get the requirement. So based on that, you need to give the program name here. Just click on the save it. Suppose this is the monthly payment job. So in this program, you have the list of lines are there, payments from accounts to accounts, all the information is there. You have to go in this one, right? Job program, job step I have defined. The next one is the startup conditions. Startup conditions here. Startup conditions, which means you want to start the job immediately, then you can select the immediately. So you want to start the job, one date and time you want to give it, you can give. After the job, one job is running, you want to run your job after that job. Then after the events, some events are there in the system. After the event, you want to run this job, then you can give the after the event. Then operation modes also you can give it. That is the separate concept. So here you have the periodic values and restrictions here. So suppose you want to run the job hourly, yes, daily, yes, monthly. Yeah, definitely it's a monthly job, right? Why? Because monthly payments, like monthly job. No, I don't want to run monthly. Every 2 minutes I want to run it. Then you can mention the every 2 minutes. Every hour I want to run it. Every hour I want to run it. Every day I want to run it. Something like that. You can mention the hours here. Then periodic values you are mentioning here. Periodic values. So restrictions. Some customer they say like, no, I don't want to run the jobs during the Saturday, Sundays, public holidays. So I want to always execute the job. I don't want to run the jobs on the public holidays. Then which public holidays? So which calendar? So normally everybody will use the German standard calendar. They will use it. So then, so we can select the job here. Means you want to start the job, but here every hourly you want to run this job, right? So like that, you can schedule it here, right? So click on the save button. In SM36, we need to give the job name and go to the job steps, either which program you want to run it, either above program or external command, whatever you want to give it, you have the three options. You can choose the above program. Then click on the save button. Then job status is released status. The job is released status, which means job is released. So then how can I know, how can I tell to others whether, how can I check whether my job is successfully completed or not? How can I know here, right? So if we go to the SM37 is the transaction code. Just you can check the status here. What is the job name? Oh, sir, I don't remember the job name. I forgot. I only remember the monthly. Then just you can select the monthly star, right? So the status of the job is scheduled, released, ready, active, finished, cancelled. Scheduled means you have created the job but not assigned any timelines. That is called the scheduled time. You have assigned the timelines. Then that is the come to the released status. When your job is ready to execute, it's in the ready status. Active job is currently running status. Finished job is successfully finished. Cancelled, the job is successfully cancelled. Then click on the execute button and see whether your monthly payment job is successfully completed or not. Yes, you can see your monthly payment job is successfully completed here. Your monthly payment job is successfully completed here, right? So, which means the job executed the program. If you go to the job log, this job started with the program with the user ID basis user, it completed, right? Which means now as soon as job completed, everybody, whoever there in the system, so whoever accounts are there, everybody will get the salaries, right? Like that, they have defined the one program, which means who means our functional developers or HR team, they will define the programs here. So that our duty is creating the jobs. Our duty is creating the jobs in the SAP systems, creating the jobs in the SAP system here. So here you can see every hour it is running, right? So your spool also generated, means log file also generated. See what is there in the log file. It's showing that some of the number of users in form exist, numbers, something the program executed, it's executed, it's a resulted, deleted, nothing missing here, checking here. It is executing, it's doing the some cleanup, it's doing the some cleanup in the system here. It's giving the some results here, right? So job executed, then the log file is generated here, right? So one more hour, next hour, 21:43 means say 28, 8:48, 28:43 or something, somewhere it is executed. Now one more job is executing. It is like 19. So 8:43 executed. Next 9:43, it will execute the one more job. Like that, every hourly we scheduled. So this job is running, every frequency is every hour. Then it is running in the program. It is running the program. This program is getting executed, right? So like that, we can schedule the job here, right? The main important thing is here, how many types of job steps we have above program. External programs means outside of the SAP commands here. External programs and external commands and programs here. Startup conditions. Suppose if you want to start the immediate, you need to select the immediate, so date and time, then after event, after job. So if you want to select, you can select this startup conditions, you can select it here. So job status. The first, when you are creating the job, that is in the scheduled status. Then it will go to the released status when you assign the timelines. Then it will go to the ready. Then it will go to the active running status. If it is successfully finished, finished. Otherwise, job will say cancelled status due to some reason here. So whenever the job is running in the SAP system, it will throw the one error message. So it will, if you go to the job, one job, if the job is not running means it will, if the job is running. If I go and execute star, there are a lot of jobs are will execute in the SAP system. There are the lot of jobs will execute in the SAP systems here. You can see it here. There are the n number of jobs will execute SAP systems. See here, n number of jobs are executing in the SAP systems here, right? So you can filter it out based upon the time, zone, whatever you may. So you can filter it out here, right? You can just check it out here. Look at the n number of jobs will execute in the SAP systems here, right? So it's all our guys are practiced and they have scheduled it here. So here, so in case of each job, it's required the one free background work process. So we go to the SM50, if the background work process are free, if the background work process are free, it will handle the user load. If the background work process are free, so it will take the, it will run the jobs. If the no background work process, job will not be executed. So sometimes what happens, you may get the situation like, so jobs are not executing. Can you please check the basis team? Then we need to check the whether jobs execution means definitely one free BTC work process should be there. If not running, definitely there is a issue with the background work process. We need to go to the SM50. We need to check the status here, whether the jobs are running or not. Okay, that is the one we have to do it here. SM. So here, right? So that is the one. Then the one more thing is here, what we have to do. So we need to remember the conditions. Suppose, let me try to schedule the one more job here. Just daily, anything, just daily, just mentioned here. Go to the job step here. You can give the external commands also. You can give it, or external programs also you can give it. It should be external, outside of the system here. External programs, external commands, you can give it anything, we can select it here, right? Suppose here we can see some of the internal system related commands here, right? So some of the check commands, check or anything DB related check commands or anything, we can select it here, right? Parameters, OS, any OS here, right? Suppose here I selected, right, external program I selected here, right? So then go to the startup condition, click on the immediate. Immediate means I want to run the job immediately. Then select the immediate, click on the, so if you want to put, if you want to run every hourly, daily, monthly, then you can select the periodic jobs. Otherwise, just click on the, I want to only one time I want to run it, then select it, right? Then click on the save button here. Then job is released status here. The job name is the daily here. Then you can go to the SM37. SM37, you can check the daily, or just check it out here whether the job is completed or cancelled status. You can see the job is cancelled status here, which means you go to the job log, it will say like you have not correctly given the all the parameters. That's why this job got failed. This job got failed in the system here. You have not correctly so selected here. So that's why it got failed here, right? So you can see each job, we go to the job details, it's required the one of the work process here, it's required. The work process number 6 is required. So what is mean by work process number 6 here? So which means work process number 6. So BTC work process. So to run the jobs, you need the one background jobs are required here. Background jobs are required here, right? So if the jobs are getting cancelled, we need to check the reason why it's checking. If you check the logs, maybe some inputs you have given wrongly, the jobs are cancelling due to the some program errors, some syntax error. Sometimes what happens, the programs will be provided by the job inputs, the programs will be provided by the in SM36 by the your developers, right? If the program has some mistakes, then that will give the error messages here. The program has something here. So we have some programs, then we will get the error information from here, right? Suppose you can select any one of the program. So variant is optional. Variant is optional here, right? So variant is optional here, right? So variant is for a, say, depends upon. So depends upon variant is the runtime import. It will control the program executions, right? Just you can check it out here. So external commands and external programs means not SAP related. Some operating system level commands, some operating system level programs here, which we have to run the scripts, which we have to create the scripts. All those things are the external here. Means not in the SAP, outside of the commands here. That commands you can give it here. But there is a specific information we have to give it here. What is the target server? Where it has to execute it here, what is the operating system, right? So and what are the commands you have to execute it here, all those things you have to give it here, all those things you have to give it here. Then if you run the job, that will be executed. The status of the job, the status of the job we can check in the SM37, and we can click on the execute button, and you will see the list of jobs which are executed for today from date to date. All the information will be displayed here. All the information will be displayed here, right? How many jobs are executed, what are the jobs are currently running. So all the information will be executed in the system here, right? So all the jobs are executed in the, it will show that I want to only cancelled jobs. Just only select the cancelled one, click on the execute, then it will show the only cancelled one. The today job is cancelled, right? I want the jobs from past 1 week. So anything, only creation of the job has to be done SM36. Remaining all activities, cancellation of the job. So suppose last 1 week job filtering it out here. So all those things we can check it from the here from SM37. See here, these all the jobs are got cancelled. These all the jobs are got cancelled due to some issues, some program errors or something. It will be cancelled here, right? Something. So something it will be cancelled here due to some issues here, right? So that is the background jobs here. Suppose if you want to cancel the active jobs, you have to go to the SM37 and cancel it. If you want to go for the delete the job, if you want to terminate the job, if you want to change the schedule, I wrongly given the timelines, I want to change the schedule. Now we can go to and here we can select it. Suppose example, you were given the monthly job, right? Monthly job you have selected. So, but this is running every 1 hour. No, I don't want to run 1 hour. I want to change. Then select the job, go to the job here, click on the change here. Then here there is a start condition. When you have mentioned periodic values every 1 hour, then you can mention the monthly, right? Save. So monthly job, right? So this is the monthly job here, monthly payment, right? So monthly job, monthly payment here. So this way, if you want to change, if you want to cancel any administration related activities except creation, all the things we can do it in the SM37, right? Suppose I want to delete. So I want to delete the job here, right? So just select the, what is the job name? So this is the job name. Go to the here. So then delete. If you want to cancel the active jobs, if you want to, so copy the jobs to create one more job, All those things we have to do it in the here in SM37, SM37 here. So background jobs, each job it's required the each job is required the one free background work process. One free background work process is required here. To run the job, we need a one free background work process required. So this is the job execution. So not only just SAP level, the developers will write the n number of programs, they will write it. Maybe if it is the payroll system, then the payrolls related details. It is a finance related details. So the sales related jobs. There the n number of jobs will run. Each and everything they will create a programs or commands. They will ask basis team to create the job. So in that case, we need to provide the job name here. So we need to provide the job name, then go to the job steps here, right? So what is the program name they have given? That program name here, definitely the program name we have to maintain it here, right? So otherwise you can also search it out here. Just to go to the browse button, you can search it out. You can search it out here. Go to the here, then click on the search button. You will get the lot of programs, system programs here, system internal programs here. You can see there the n number of programs are there here. You can get the programs here. Okay, that is the programs here. So here you can select any program and you can run the jobs here. You can select the any program, you can run the jobs here. You want to go with the periodic values, startup conditions, you want to start immediately after the job, after the event, you want to run multiple. So you can use it here. You can use the, so this one we can use it here after the job, after the event, after the whatever you want, you can use it here. This is the job creation here. This is the very important thing here. And also by here we have to use the one dedicated user, we have to use it here. So one dedicated user here, one dedicated user. So which means, so when we are creating the job, so here you are using the basis user, right? Normally here we have to use the other than dialog user, system users, we have to use it here. Why? Because if this user is locked due to the password expiry or something, your jobs may fail it. What is the reason for cancellation? The logon steps. So here we have to use the standard users, the dedicated service users or standard system users, we have to use it here. So in that case, you have to create the dedicated user, you have to create it for the background jobs here. Background jobs, you have to create it here, right? So external programs, right? It's a commands entered directly in the system here. Suppose, so in the, there is a some example here about like, it's a OS level. What is the parameter you want to execute? There is a some commands, cmd -c. Some of the commands we can enter it here, right? So then it will fail it. Definitely it will fail it. Why? Because it's not the correct commands. So that we can schedule the job immediately, then save it. So here if you save it, then job is released status here. So ABC I created. If you go to the ABC, so then ABC, so then click on the execute button. So definitely that will be failed. But because we are not given correctly, not given the correct parameters here. So there is a command is mismatching. Some of the, it's not the external program. It's a different, it's unclear. The information which is given the unclear here, right? So normally most of the time we will use only above programs only, above programs. If it is the operating system level commands, scripts, we have to use it. But SAP, right? So here we have to use the above program, we have to use it here. Okay, got it? 36 and 37 are for the background jobs here. So status is very important. They may ask you what are the status of the job, conditions, what are the startup conditions here, immediate, daytime, after event, after job, and operation modes. Job steps are very important. Most of the SAP 90% jobs will run on the above programs. Only rare cases people will use this one, right? So this is the very important here. These are the three steps, three headlines you need to remember. How many types of job steps? What are the job startup? These are the interview point of time questions or technical discussion. Can you tell me the job status? right? Where to create the job failed, where to check it out, where to check the log files. If the babs are not running, what could be the issue? So if there is no free background work process, what could be the reason for job failures, right? This kind of things they may ask you. Okay, got it? Any questions here? Okay, so this is the background work process here. So to run the jobs, you need a one background work process is required. Okay, that is the background work process here. The next one is the M for the message server. M for message server here. So it is the SMMS here. Message server. Message server is responsible for load balancing activities. Load balancing activities here. So before we use the message server, here we have to use the, so means the load balancing will happen based upon the SAP, the logon groups which you create in the SMLG transaction code. In SMLG, we have to create the logon groups here. SMLG, we have to create the logon groups here. Here we need to enter the logon groups here, right? SMLG transaction code, right? SMLG transaction code here, right? So that is the information we need to give it here, right? Suppose if you have the 2 servers, 3 servers, then how the load balancing will work, right? Message server is available in the ASS instance here. Suppose in our case, we have the ND4 here, we have the 2 app servers are available here, right? ND4, we have the 2 app servers are available. Let me check here, but because 2 application servers are there here in ND4 here. Let me show you. Okay, so we have the 2 app servers are there in the ND4 here, right? 2 app servers are there in the ND4 here. So here 2 application servers. So which means this is the presentation layer, this is the application layer, and this is the database layer, right? So here we have the ASCS instance, then application server, and you have the one more application server is available. 2 application servers are there here for ND4 here, ASCS. Then here it is the GUI. Here it is the primary application server. This is the database. This is the second application server which you created for load balancing activities, right? So here what we have to do here, from GUI to, you are directly connecting to the application server here, right? You are directly connecting to the application server. So which means if this application server is down, what will happen? You cannot connect to the SAP, right? But because even though you have the one more application server is available, you cannot connect to the SAP, right? You cannot connect to the SAP application server. But if you connect to the via message server, if you connect via message server, what will happen? If you connect via message server, so if you GUI to the message server, so then even though one is down, you have the one more is up, then message server will perform the load balancing, will route the request to the additional application server. It will route the request to the additional application server, right? Message server will route the request to the additional application server here, even though the primary application server is down. Even though we have the primary application server is down, it will route the request to the this one here. Okay, so that is the thing we have to do it here. Okay, so but here normal procedure, now we are directly using the application server details and instance number we are connecting here. But So if you connect through via ASCS, what will happen? Message server. So message server will check. Why? Because under the message server, you have the two instances are available. So message server responsibility is to perform the load balancing activities, to perform the log on load balancing activities here, right? Log on load balancing activity. In case of message server is message server, the message server, if this is down, it will route the request to the this application server. If this is down, it will route the request to the this application server here. So it will perform the load balancing related activities in the system. Load balancing related activities here, right? So suppose example, but message server will work based upon the groups, the logon groups here. So if you go to the SMLG, SMLG, the first of all, we have to create the groups here in the SMLG here. So log into the system. Okay, go to SMLG. Here, just click on the create SMLG. So if one application server or we have the multiple application server, the message server role is what is the available application server, it will route the request. If one is down, if only one is down, then even though it will pass the request to this application server, if this is down, so then your system cannot able to log in. Either one or two, the responsibilities are same here. Here, what you have to do, you need to perform the load balancing activities. You need to configure the groups. Groups you have to decide here. Groups, log on groups here, right? Suppose we have the two app servers, right? So 07, 05, we have the two application servers are there here. So here you need to you need to add the groups here. So suppose like public group, you need to assign to the, so one more application server also you have to assign here. Means, so whatever the groups are there, the message server will work only on the groups, the logon groups here. Here it will connect to the group. Okay, this group is pointing to the two application servers, right? So here what will happen? Two application server. It will check which application server is having the less load, then it will route the request to the that application server only. So like that, we can create the public users here. Maybe I can say all India users into the, so they have to log into the one dedicated. We can also do the restrictions here, right? So all India users has to log in only one application server only. That is called the 07. They don't want to log into the 05. Then we can only give the 07 application server only. So that if you define the one more application server, then this group is pointing to the two application servers, then users can log into the two application servers here, right? If you define the only one, users can only log into the 07, even though if the 07 is down, then users can log out disconnected from the systems here. So that's why normally we will use the public group. All public users will use the common group here. So here in this case, how to configure it here? Just you have to go to the new connection. Normally here we will use the, what we are using here, custom application server we are using here. So then in this case, we need to use the group server selection. That is for the connecting via message server. Then you need to use the group server selection here. Then here we need to use the ND4 via groups you are connecting, right? Groups. Then what is the SID? ND4. Then here router string is not required here. What is the message server details here? Right? SAP Windows 2 colon. Here we need to add the syntax. Make sure you need to add the syntax here. What is the message server? Message server 06 is the instance number for ASCS here. Right? Then 06. Then 3606. 36 instance number, right? We have to give this one. Then if you go on this button, here you created the public group and Indian group, then only it will come to the list here. You have to correctly give the port number. 36 instance number you have to give it here. If you give something wrong, then if you click on the OK button, it will fail it. It is connect. Please wait. It is connecting to the message server. It is reachable, not reached. So you have to correctly give the instance number. Then select the public group. Now, if you select the public group, what happens? So now click on the OK, finish. Right. So this is the groups. You can log into the SAP systems now with via groups. Here, what the message server will do, it will perform the load balancing activities. It will perform the load balancing activities in the system. It will perform the load balancing activities in the system here, right? Suppose example, let me log in here. Here, all users are locked. Okay, I can create the multiple sessions here to see in each application server how many users are connected and all the information here. All the users related information we can see it here. Here, how you logged into the system. Via groups, you logged into the system here, right? Groups. You are not configured the any dedicated application server, only message server you are logging, which means here message server will decide you want to recruit the request to the this application server. If this are both are down, you cannot log in. If one is down, you can log into the other. If both are up, then equally distribute the load to the both should be equally distribute the load to the available application servers, right? So then in this case you logged into the system, then you can go to so you can go to and you can check it out here, right? How to check how many users are logged in each application server. If you go to SM04 is the transaction code, you can check the list of users that are logged in here. Same SM04 local logged on users list. If you go to AL08, say all instances users list, all instances users list here, right? So AL08. If you go to this application server, here you have only, so two users are there here, right? SAP Windows 02, Windows 2. Here we have only two users are there here. So you have even though you have the two app servers are there, right? Even though you have the two app servers are there, only two are there here, right? If you go to the AL08 here, it's all application servers here. All the instances are related application servers are there here. Here you can see 05 ND4 05 these are the users are there here, right? 072 users, 072 users and 05 remaining users are there. Total 9 users are logged into the system. What they are doing, they are executing the program. Someone is in the SMLG, so someone is in the different users client. What they are doing, what is the client post, what is the date and time they are logged in, all the information is available here, right? So here the load balancing is working, right? You can see some users are in the one application server, some users are in the 07 application server. What if I stop the 05 application server, right? If I stop the 05 application server, what will happen? So 05 application server is stopped. Then whoever logged into the 05, all the users will get logged out from the system. Whoever is there in the 07, they will stay same thing like that only here. They will stay like this only here. You can see here, just click on the refresh. Now 05 will be down, right? 05 sessions all will be down here, right? So see here, 05 is down. So 07 only one is up here, right? 05 done, 07 sessions. The sessions are there in the 07. All are up now. All are up now. So users can continue their work here. But only thing is 05 is down. Even though you can log into the system now. Via groups, one application server is up, right? Even though you can log into the system. Why? Because now when you log into the system, all application servers will be routed to the zeros. You can log into the system, right? Why? Because your request will be routed to the another SICK. Suppose example. Now here you can go, just click on the OK button. So then you can see one more session is opened, that is called the SICK transaction code is opened, right? So just check the that one here. So like this, you can number of users can log into the system, even though 05 only down, but 07 is up, right? So 07, all users can pass it to the 07 here. This is the 05, this is the 07. 05 is down. Then message server still pass the request to the 07 only. But when this concept works, when you have created the groups here, when you have created the groups in the logon pad, so that time message server will route the request here. Why? Because you are connecting through message server here. So it will work here, right? So if you are this application server, if you are connecting to the individual application server, which means custom application server, then when you click on this button, you cannot log in now. You cannot log into the SAP system. See here, it got failed. Why? Because 05 you are directly connecting, 05 is down. Then how can you log in? Now you cannot log in now system, right? So here the first of all to achieve this concept, load balancing concept from the message server in SMLG logon groups, you need to configure the groups first, right? Groups first you have to configure it. So then you can configure the same group in the SAP logon pad here so that it will work. When you are creating the group, you can assign the multiple groups, you have to assign it here. Like means one group, multiple application servers you have to assign to here. One group, multiple application servers you have to assign to the system. Then only, so if you assign to the India group, Indian, then all India users will connect to the either this group, this application server or this application server. Suppose I want to restrict only dedicated US people, they want to log into the only 07, then you can create the 07. So all the USA people, they want to connect to the 07 only, not the other groups. Then you can use the 07. You can ask US people to connect only US related group here. So that in the logon pad, when they are connecting, they can edit their changes to the instead of public to USA, so that USA people connected to the only one application server 7, then they can log into the 7 application server here. So like that we can create the multiple groups. For that group you can just link to the your application server, you can log into the your application servers here, right? This is the groups logon server groups here, right? So here message server SMMS so will work. Message server here only in SMMS we can only check the status of the message server. That's it. So you can see, so what is the status of the message server here. So here if you start the one more application server, here you can see the message server status here. It is running or not, it will give the information here, right? Just message server is running on this one. Port number will be provided here. That's it. Port number will be provided. So message server is running on this host number. Like that, it will give the information in the system here, right? So here one more application server, it is starting now. Just starting the one more application server. So now it will pass the request to the multiple application servers here. Why trace is off means by default trace will not be on. It's off only. Trace means it's checking the logs and all those things. Okay, so that is the thing of the here. So what you need to do now today we discussed about the SM36 jobs, SM37 monitoring the jobs, SM04 local work process overview, AL08 global work process overview, AL08, then SMLG, the logon groups creation. So now what you need to do, you need to map your RFC, map your logon pads to the group server selection, right? So that one is down, another one will be up here. Like that you can do the practice here. Logon server groups you can create it. Logon server groups you can create it here, like this here. Okay. So what you need to do? You need to click on the create button. Okay. So from here you need to add the here you need to add the groups, then groups SMLG you have to create it, then you need to add the syntax like So 3606, SAP Windows to 3606. Then check it here. What is the group you want to connect it? Select that groups. Then you can click on the save button. You can connect it here. So either groups or direct application server. If the direct application server, if that is down, we cannot log in. If the individual application server, if the groups one is down, we can log into the other application servers. Okay, that is the way. Okay, so please practice it. Please practice it. So yesterday's and today's topic also you can practice it. Okay. So mainly jobs. Jobs are very important. You need to configure the jobs, background jobs. Okay, guys. Any questions? Anyone? Clear, right? Try to practice it. If you have any issues, just pick me. Okay.
Okay, Raja. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.